So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that x and y are positive integers, right? And we have to find the value of x in this and in this, and we have to compare both of them. So we have to find the value of x in this, we have to find the value of x in this, and then we have to compare these two things, right? So right now it must be looking that, uh, we don't know any value, like how will we find? Because x and y, there are two variables, we don't even know any relationship. So how is it gonna be possible? Just look. For example, we know that if mod a is less than b, if mod a is less than b, I've told you this before, then a will be greater than minus b and less than b. I hope this is very clear. If mod a is less than b, then a is greater than minus b and less than b. If you don't know this, try to learn this, right? I mean, you can see it also logically, but I hope you should already know this, right? Okay. Now, this is the same form, mod a is less than b. So we can write x minus 2 is greater than minus b, which means minus of this. So minus of 2 minus y, right? And less than 2 minus y. I hope this should be fine. Mod a is less than b, so a is greater than minus b. Minus b means minus of this, and less than b means less than 2 minus y. Same formula, right? Okay. So this becomes minus 2 plus y is greater than x minus 2 is less than 2 minus y. I hope this should be fine. Now, I want x over here, right? We want to know the value of x. So I add 2 on all the sides. So if I add 2 all on the side, this will become x, because 2 minus 2 plus 2 will cut, right? This will become what? This will become y, because minus 2 plus 2, this will cancel. And this will become what? 4 minus y. I hope this should be fine, right? That means the value of x is greater than y and less than 4 minus y, right? Okay. We know that x and y are positive integers. That means x and y could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing. Let's assume that y is equals to 1, right? So if y is equals to 1, then what will this be? This will become x greater than 1, because y is 1, and less than 4 minus 1, 3. I hope this is very clear, right? Let's suppose I take y is equals to 2 and y is equals to 3, just for example. So this will become x greater. So this will become y is equals to 2. So this will become 2, and this will become 4 minus 2, right? Okay. If I take y is equals to 3, this means this part will become 3 and this part will become 1, right? I hope this should be very clear. Now tell me one thing. Obviously this case is not possible, because x is greater than 3 and less than 1. Obviously it is not possible. You are saying that x is greater than 3, but at the same time you are saying x is less than 1. So it is practically not possible. So this case is absolutely wrong, right? If we talk about this case, x is greater than 2, x is less than 2. How can it be possible at the same time that some number is greater than 2 and it is also less than 2? So obviously this is also not possible, right? So similarly, if you take any of the case, y is equals to 4, 5, 6, 7, all those cases will be not possible. So the only possible case is y is equals to 1, right? So if y is 1, right, then what is the value of x? So x is greater than 1 and less than 3, right? And we know that x is a positive integer. That means the only possible value is x is equals to 2, because x is greater than 1 and less than 3. So x is equals to 2 is the only possible value over here, right? So we have found the answer for this, that what is the value of x? We had to find the value of x, right? So for this equation, the value of x is what? 2. For this. I hope this should be absolutely clear. There should be no doubt in this, right? Okay, now let's try to find out the answer for this, right? So x plus y minus 3 is equals to mod of 1 minus y, right? Okay, now tell me one thing again, right? Let's assume that, for example, we know that y is greater than 0. X and y are positive integers, right? So positive means that y is greater than 0, right? This is one thing for sure. So tell me one thing, if we subtract, if we multiply this by minus 1, so if we multiply minus in inequality, the sign gets reversed, right? So minus, this will become minus y. On multiplying by negative, the sign will get reversed and this will remain 0. I hope this should be fine, right? Okay. Now, for example, if we add 1 over here, if we add 1 over here, then this will become what? 1 minus y is less than 1. I hope this should be absolutely fine, right? So 1 minus y is less than 1, right? Okay, perfect. So tell me one thing, that if this is the case, right? If 1 minus y is less than 1, right? So obviously mod will open with a negative sign. That means mod will open with a negative sign, right? Because this is less than 1, right? Because we know that mod a is equals to a. Mod a is equals to a if, so mod a is equals to a if a is greater than 0, and mod a is equals to minus a if a is less than 0. I hope I have told you this already in the inequalities chapter, right? So similarly, mod of 1 minus y, mod of 1 minus y will be 1 minus y if 1 minus y is greater than 0, right? And 1 minus mod of 1 minus y, and mod of 1 minus y will be y minus 1 if 1 minus y is less than 0. I hope this should be very clear, right? Again, I'm going into a little detail so that you understand the concept, because in the exam you will see you won't find any same question. You will have to apply the concepts that you have learned, right? So that is the point. Okay, so over here, if you see that in this case, for example, y is less than 1, right? In this case, y is less than 1, and in this case, what? Y is greater than 1, right? And we know that y is positive. Y is a positive integer, so obviously this case is never possible. If you see this case, what is this? This is 1 minus y greater than 0, so y is less than 1, right? But we know this is never not possible, because it is given that y is a positive integer, so either y will be 1, 2, 3, whatever. So this case is never possible, so only this case is possible. So that means mod of 1 minus y will be y minus 1. I hope this should be clear. So mod of 1 minus y will be what? Y minus 1, right? Okay, now if we solve this, so this will be x plus y minus 3 is equals to y minus 1, right? So y and y gets cancelled, so x comes out to be what? 2. So even in this case, the answer of x is 2. So for this the answer was 2, for this the answer is 2. So the final answer is what? C. I hope this should be clear. So basically what we did over here is that we had a mod of 1 minus y, right? We know that mod of a is equals to a if a is positive, right? Similarly, mod of 1 minus y will be 1 minus y if 1 minus y is greater than 0, right? And 1 minus y of mod will be minus a, means minus of this, means y minus 1, if 1 minus y is less than 0, right? So this means that this should be y less than 1 and this should be y greater than 1. So obviously we know y less than 1 is not possible because we know that y is a positive integer. So y can either be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So this case is not possible. So the only possible case is this, y is greater than 1. So for this we have to take mod of 1 minus y to be y minus 1. That is why mod of 1 minus y becomes y minus 1. And then you solve it. I hope this should be pretty clear.